Oh, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's California EDD unemployment question and answer live session. I think that, let's see here. I think that I need to do a sponsored video. I owe them a couple. So today's video is going to be sponsored by the Coldest Water. If you're interested in this water bottle, you get 10% off if you use code MILLIONS, which is like the coolest promo code ever. And they're doing weekly giveaways, and the link is in the description to enter for a free water bottle. And it's summer, so it's nice to have this cold water bottle. And I'm the type of person, I leave my water bottle in the car like for a couple days and it doesn't get a weird smell and it actually still stays cold. Okay. So thank you to the Coldest Water for sponsoring this video. And of course I have member questions from the memberships on my channel, which is $1.99 if anyone's interested. Sorry to be like so salesy like this early in the morning. Getting comments that the new EDD website is awful, in my opinion. Yeah, we're going to talk about the change to the UI Online home screen. I'm going to hop into the members in a second, but I see some really great questions coming already. From TrueLab says, would it be confusing to the EDD if I use both my senator and my assemblyman? One seems to help more than others. So use the one that's most helpful. I wouldn't get both of them involved. I think only one external source can help you with your claim at one time. Okay, so the first question from a member says, I'm still under review. It's been 3 weeks. What should I do now? So if you call and they tell you that you're waiting on a phone interview, really try and use the term financial hardship and see if they can push it through that way. Otherwise, reach out to your assembly member, let them know you're experiencing financial hardship and is there anything they can do to help you get paid. And yes, Peace Control will start at the 11 a.m. time stamp. Once I'm done with the membership questions. Michelle says last weekend was the last payment and she's waiting for the next weekend from the balance to change from 0. But this week, my inbox showed another 29 weeks added, so hopefully it will be smooth. Yes, once your claim reaches 0, some people see the maximum benefits paid message, some don't, but it's definitely a good sign if you've got the notice that you're receiving a 29-week extension. Now, of course, that 29-week extension is only going to take you to the week ending September 4th, but yes, that's what should happen. That is a good sign. Then David hit me with a doozy. He says, after the extensions get terminated, are you allowed to reapply? If yes, is there a general idea or ballpark figure of anything you've heard in the past for a rough estimate of the time period to reapply? So once the federal extensions end on September 4th, yes, you can try and file a new claim. But if you haven't had any work since you first applied for benefits, you wouldn't qualify for a whole new claim. And keep in mind that by September 4th, most of us will have already been on unemployment for a year or more, and we'll either have already gone through the reapplication process ourselves, or the EDD, if we haven't worked, will run that check for us. So if we don't qualify for a new claim already, we might not qualify for a new claim then unless you've done some work more recently. So September 4th is going to be real rough for a lot of people. Okay, that was the end of the membership questions. So now I'm jumping into I'm going to start with Ben. He's at the 1059 time stamp. What have I heard about the 4th stimulus check? They want to tie it into the infrastructure bill. I feel that if there is a stimulus, it will only be new checks, but no extension on unemployment. That's what I think too. And I'm not quite sure how easily they'll even get through a 4th check. I was just reading today that Democrats are starting not to even support the extra $300 a week. They're not talking about ending it early in Democratic states, but they are definitely not talking about extending the extra $300 past September. And Scotty's saying, hope my mom is doing well and had a wonderful birthday. She did. Thank you guys so much. I did a video and I asked you to wish her happy birthday, and you guys all came through and really made her day. So thank you for that. Really Tired 64 says, on Friday, I think that means to say Biden pretty much confirmed the $300 boost will be ending for everyone. Do you think there's a chance that the PEUC and the other programs may continue without the boost? There's always a chance, but I'm just going to be truthful. I don't think that's going to happen. It'll be interesting in the state of California because, of course, Gavin Newsom is not going to want to lose that reelection. But he already approved the Golden State stimulus, that extra $600 if your adjusted gross income is less than $30,000, that will come after you file your taxes, your state taxes. And my feeling is that might be it. Now, if Fed Ed is still in play, if the unemployment rate is above 6%, that may be an option. But again, there's going to be earnings requirements, and the longer it's been since we've worked, the less likely it will be that we would qualify for Fed Ed. Elizabeth says, I'm calling EDD again because it's been 2 weeks and no extension was added. Rep said wait 10 days and be patient. Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of times when the reps say to wait, that it just never switches. Sometimes they give you a time frame. Although I did have a friend call a couple days ago and they said to wait 48 hours and his did switch from pending to paid. But yeah, it's frustrating when they tell you that. And then sometimes it seems like if you do call and get the right rep that they are able to push some of the payments through. True Love says, oh, we did that. Yes, it probably would be confusing if you use a senator and an assemblyman. Michael says, oh, good morning. You were able to certify successfully this morning at about 12:05 a.m. As far as I could see, the website seems to be doing a lot better early this morning. That's good news. I've actually seen that quite a bit. Someone said on the message boards that I moderate over on Facebook, they were like, there was no problems. What do I expect next? Because it's almost never this easy. Stephania says, I logged on this morning and today was the day to certify and it does not give me the option to certify. So unfortunately, that is something that I would recommend calling them about. That shouldn't require a tier 2 representative and they are open Sundays. So you might want to try giving them a call today. Call volume, I'm mixed about whether call volume is low on Sunday or not. I don't have the hard or fast numbers. I tend to think it's high on Sunday and Monday, and to avoid calling. Then there's rumors that tier 2 reps don't work on Sunday. I don't know if those are true or not, but they're open Sunday. And so for simple issues, they might be able to help you. And a lot of people actually don't know that the phone lines are open Sunday. So maybe they're all waiting till Monday. Maybe just try calling today. That might be something they can fix today. And again, they're open till 8 p.m. even on a Sunday. So maybe try calling between 2:30 and 4, which are a good time to try calling anyway. True Love says, if my status now shows must search for work with available, do I still get to X out the box? Fill in the employer's information, or I have to fill out the box. Thank you. So you do not, the work search is waived still, but if you check no, it might, like that you're not looking for work, that can cause a stop payment indicator to pop up on your account, and then you would need to clear that with a rep through a phone interview. So I recommend hitting yes that you looked for work, but you are allowed to skip listing the employers that you applied with, and that does not seem to cause any issues. So my advice is to hit yes that you looked, but you can hit skip or next, or it sounds like maybe you're doing paper certifications. You can just leave that information blank for now about where you actually looked. Oh my goodness, guys, I lost my place already. How is that even possible? I'm scrolling up. Oh, good morning, Heidi. I think we've been busy at work, but I took the weekend off so that I could spend my mom's birthday with her. Okay. Johnny Salazar says, my benefit year ends tomorrow. I certified today and paid and you got paid. Will I be good next certified date, or will there be a late payment? That is so hard to say. So in your situation, it's after June 5th. They should be automatically checking to see if you qualify for a new claim. But here's what really gets me, guys. One of the things that the EDD advises, if you're at your benefit year end to see if they're going to automatically file for you or not is to try and file a new claim. And if you try and file a new claim and it lets you, then that means you need to file a new claim. And if you try and file a new claim and it doesn't let you, then that means that it should be automatic for you. And I think my advice is going to be to call the EDD and see what they recommend in your situation. Okay. And yeah, once you file a new claim, and I'm not sure if when the EDD does it for you, if it's still going to be subject to that third-party review. I have a feeling that it will. And so I would anticipate that some of your payments could get stuck on pending for between 2 and 6 weeks, but after the 3-week mark, you can try calling the EDD and seeing if they will release your payments. Jimmy said, been waiting for my 11-week extension for over a month now. I called the EDD and they said 48 hours, but that's been 3 weeks. It's time to call them again and also probably reach out to your assembly member to see if there's anything that they can do to help push through those payments. And again, when you call the EDD, or email your assembly member. I don't recommend calling assembly members. I recommend emailing them so that you have a paper trail of when you contacted them, what you said, what they said. And either way, if you call the EDD or reach out to your assembly member, make sure to use the terms financial hardship. Vanessa, good morning. The tax transcripts on IRS say I get my refund on the 7th. Do we get more money depending on what tax bracket we fall under, or only the overpayment in taxes? It only shows what I'm getting what I paid in tax. So yeah, whatever amount it's showing is the amount that will be applied. I don't think there's anything extra. It will either show the overpayment amount if you owed and you paid them and you already made your payment, they would give you that difference back. Or if they owe you an additional refund, it's just that amount. It seems like most people, each person who is on unemployment gets between $500 and $1,500 back. That seems to be about the average. Johnny, thank you for the donation. I'm going to look to see if you've got a question real quick. Johnny, let's see here. I don't see a question from you. But I will be on the lookout for one. And again, thank you for the donation. That's very kind. Okay, sorry, I'm scrolling back up. Okay. Nancy says, what happens when your extension ends? Do you reapply for a new claim? So you only need to file a new claim once your benefit year ends. Once your extension ends, if you're within your benefit year, they should automatically apply the next extension, which would take you through September 4th. And now, if you don't have enough work history, the EDD is supposed to file a new claim for you or keep you on the extension. But one of the ways that they say to see if that's going to be you that's impacted by the automatic process is to try filing a new claim. So once your benefit year is over, that's when you need to try and file a new claim. And again, that's not for people on PUA. PUA does not need to try and file a new claim. Good morning, T-Baby. Jerson says, I was approved for an extension and I'm receiving payments, but now they want me to go to an in-person interview. What does this interview entail? Reemployment eligibility assessment. I don't think that's what it is. Normally it's a question about your previous employment or the way you've answered your certification questions. Even though they are starting to do these in person, they should be fairly quick and simple, and usually about certification questions or about your previous employment. And they should have sent you out a letter, and it should tell you on the back of that letter what the questions are going to be. Really Tired says, I looked ahead and I noticed that my last certification will be August 29th, a week before anything stops. Any chance that we might be able to certify for 1 week since that is the end? Yeah, it actually should. It sounds like that would be when your 11-week extension ends. And so they actually should implement the 29-week extension that would only pay you for 1 week. You should be able to get that money. Everybody should be able to get money through September 4th. Jennifer says, how long will I wait if I asked for the assistant to my assemblyman? It depends. They normally respond within 48 hours. It used to be that they could get claims fixed and switch to paid in as little as 4 days. But now there's so many of us recommending that you reach out to your assemblyman for help with your EDD issues, that there's a backlog there too. And it can still take 4 weeks to have an assembly member clear it up. And sometimes the assembly members come back and they aren't able to speed things up at all, but it's worth it to try. Katya says, if my claim year ended on the 25th of May and I haven't reapplied, should I reapply still after the EDD stating as of the 5th of June, we no longer need to reapply? I would, because if you think about it, so they're going back 18 months to look for wages. That would be November, December of 2019 that you would have to have like no work history in that time frame. It's not going to be a lot of people, and I don't think that actually are helped by this. I think so many of us have already reached our benefit year, and this would have mean really that you didn't really have any work even before the pandemic started. So chances are there's going to be some wage information in there for most of us. And even the EDD says one of the ways to see if they're going to automatically file it for you or not is to try and file a new claim yourself. And if it lets you, then you need to file. And if it doesn't let you, then it means that you don't need to file. And again, in that situation, you can do it online yourself or call the EDD and have them help you file a new claim. And then they're probably going to ask you those questions. It sounds like, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I always used to recommend calling the EDD at the end of your benefit year, because what I used to say is if you get the right rep, they can kind of bypass the process of officially filing a whole new claim. Well, they've made that official, basically, this bypassing the filing a new claim. They're going to ask you if you've had any work history, and if you say no, they're going to bypass filing a new claim and keep you on the extensions. But now they're looking back 18 months. So I'm not sure, how many of us that's going to help. But if you call them and they do want you to file a new claim, that way, if you have any questions while you're in the process, you've already got somebody on the phone with you that can help. Okay. Alfredo says, what's the reason that my last 3 weeks say disqualification? I just got, part of the 4 weeks out of 11. So it could be that your benefit year is ended. And sometimes when your old claim and your new claim are competing, even if the new claim's not valid, it brings up the wrong one for you to certify. Once it says disqualified, though, you do need to call them to get it cleared up. Oh, Johnny, thank you again for the donation. And there's your question. I'm so sorry I didn't catch it the first time. You went to Bank of America, showed my driver's license with my credit card. 27 Canada. So I know how long for the hold to come off. B of A sent an email to. Oh my goodness, Johnny. Johnny, quit donating. I will come back to that and I will answer it in the comments after this video, because I think I need a little bit more information. And if you and I comment after the video, I can research it and you can type your question in whole. The hold really should come off almost instantly. There's also that injunction that the Bank of America isn't supposed to be freezing anyone's accounts anymore. So yeah, it should be pretty soon. I would imagine about 5 to 7 business days at the most. I'm not sure though. I wish you would have asked them when you were there, but I will try and research that more. So again, leave a comment on this video once it's done. And Toya says the live with Jenny was awesome. Yeah, I always have fun working with her. And if you guys missed it, I went live with Jenny Silver this past Thursday, and we both just took turns answering questions. We used this platform called StreamYard, and then we just Zoomed each other, and it worked really well. It was really cool. Okay. Bruv says, what's the deal with the new Golden State stimulus? Still must qualify for Cal EITC in order to even get it. Yes, that's the last I've heard. And so that would be under 30,000 in adjusted gross income on your California state income taxes. The Cal EITC and the federal EITC credit qualifications are different. Maribel says, my claim started in December 2020 and ends on December 2021. My claim balance is going to be 0 in 2 weeks. Do I need to reapply for an extension or is it automatic? It should be automatic. The thing is with the EDD, it seems like so many things that shouldn't cause the claims to get stuck and pending. So your claim balance is going to stay at 0 for at least for the next 2 weeks. It shouldn't be more than that. You should be able to certify again in 2 weeks like normal. And then after you certify, that's when you should actually see your claim balance go up. And we talked a little bit about this at the beginning of the live. About 5 to 7 days after your claim balance hits 0, you should either get a letter or a text or a message in your UI Online inbox that says you're getting a 29-week extension next, and that would take you to the week ending September 4th. It won't actually last 29 weeks. Andy says, is it me or does the UI Online look different? And after the 11 weeks, we still get that other extension until September 4th, right? I have 2 more checks for my 11 weeks, and I did receive the 1277. Yes. So next for you is going to be that 29-week extension. Should be automatic. But if for some reason 2 weeks go by after your claim has hit 0 and you can't certify, or the claim balance doesn't go up after you certify, then you would need to call the EDD. It is supposed to be automatic though. And yes, the UI Online does look different and it's confusing a lot of people, especially on PUA. Guys, if you've already tried to file a new claim, you don't need to file a new claim again. It is confusing. I probably need to make a dedicated video on that. I've been super crazy busy though recently. Casper says, my UI balance will be at 0 before the benefit year ends. What do I do? Again, the extension should be applied automatically. So that next extension will take you to the week ending September 4th. Sugar Sprinkles says, I'm on PEUC. I was able to certify, but only for 1 week. I can't find my balance. Do you think it was because my balance is probably over? And if so, does it automatically continue the extension? Yes. Again, that should automatically load up with the next extension. Yes, most likely you were only able to certify for 1 week because you're at the end of one extension and rolling over onto the next. So check and see if you can certify again next week. That would be common. Some people are stuck having to certify weekly, but as long as you're getting paid, I wouldn't worry too much about that. But your balance should increase and you should be able to certify again, possibly even next Sunday. Jedi Army says, should we contact the EDD if furlough has become a permanent layoff? When I originally filed last year, only option for loss of job was layoff due to the pandemic or reduction in workforce. I don't think you need to change that at this point. They're not going to really differentiate between permanently laid off and furloughed. And I'm so sorry that your layoff has become permanent. But yeah, I don't think you need to update the EDD on that. Jenna says, new subscriber. Oh, thank you. Welcome. I applied for regular UI back in May of 2020 and was denied. Applied for PUA recently and was awarded the 86 weeks. How far back can I backdate? So the furthest you're going to be able to backdate is to December 6th of 2020. I know that that's not as far back as it really probably should go, but unfortunately with not the newest stimulus bill, but the one before that said that more or less any new claims wouldn't be able to backdate past December 6th of 2020. AO, the charity case says, do you know what the EDD considers good cause for quitting due to COVID? So good cause would be, I don't know all of the reasons. Let me say that. But some things would be like my employer wasn't actually following safety protocols. My coworkers weren't wearing masks. They didn't provide the proper cleaning supplies. They weren't allowing us to stay properly socially distanced. those kinds of things would be good cause. Potentially, though, some other things, like if you were caring for someone sick with COVID, but that's going to get tricky because remember, you have to be available and able to accept work. And if you wouldn't have been able to accept work because you were home taking care of someone or because you were sick, then you wouldn't qualify. So usually it's just going to be like because your job wasn't following proper safety protocols. But it could be other reasons as well. Johnny says, I verified my ID. Oh, yeah, we got yours. Oh, so I could get my $23,000. Do you know how long it takes? I would guess 7 to 10 business days. And that's so much money. Johnny, as soon as you get that money back, please, please, please open a regular bank account, any bank, transfer the money from your EDD debit card to a traditional bank. These cards, since they don't have a chip, are really susceptible to getting hacked, getting fraud. So yeah, and since yours is such a large amount of money, you're probably only going to be able to transfer $5,000 at a time to your regular bank account. Johnny, thank you again. Oh, come on, guys. Is everyone going to donate some money? It's going to good cause. She helps us every week and answers our questions. Let's give her some cash. Johnny, that sentiment is so sweet, but I get it. There are so many of you that are like broke AF because the EDD has not paid you in weeks. So I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that. Man, it's working though. I don't mind at all answering these without donations because I get it. I get how broke some of you guys really are, and I don't want to like take advantage of that. Like if you guys want to use my code to buy a water bottle, or you guys want to use my code to call Claimyr, because even some of you guys can't afford the call to Claimyr to get your claims fixed, to get paid. Like I get that. I understand. I do think calling the EDD should be free. Try between 2 and 4:30. Okay. Casper says, so thank you for the donation. So regardless of if you're on UI or PUA, balance is zero before the end of the year, automatic extension. Yes, it's supposed to be automatic. Now, PUA should already have their amounts increased to take them all the way to the week ending September 4th. And yes, if it gets to zero before the benefit year end, they're supposed to keep applying the extensions automatically through the week ending September 4th. But a lot of times, and it'll say there's like an EDD flow chart, and it will say that it's going to be automatic. But so many times people have had to call to actually get the extensions pushed through. And then they're like, oh, it's a glitch, or oh, the computer didn't catch that we were supposed to roll you over to the next program. And they don't ever really say why. But if you're still within your benefit year and you're pending for more than 2 weeks, it's definitely time to call them. Carrie says, my claim expired yesterday and I received a text message that I didn't have to file again. I'm on PEUC. That is amazing. And I'm very glad to hear that. That's clear communication, which is a little bit of a shocker from the EDD, but that's awesome. Now, okay. Sometimes the letters about the extensions are confusing though. It'll say the EDD automatically filed an extension for you. Did it specifically say you don't need to file a new claim? I'm wondering that. Or if it just said the EDD has automatically filed an extension for you, because there's a difference. Like we all got those letters saying that they automatically filed the extension for us. But once the benefit year ends, in the past, you did at least need to check and see if you qualified for a new claim. Of course, now the EDD is supposed to do it for you. But they're also recommending that you try and file a new claim yourself to see if it's going to be automatic or if you need to file a new claim. Lisa says, I've been pending for 7 weeks and certified for 2 more weeks last night. They paid for the 2 newest weeks, which finally zeroed out my old claim. Do you think they will pay the other pending weeks? They should, but that's probably not going to be automatic. You're probably going to need to call to get those other payments released. CR. Yes, CR is just saying that, yep, the homepage is different. And I'm at 1108 in the comments. Ben says, new infrastructure bill will have a stimulus inside of it. Probably only checks, but no unemployment extension at all. Yeah, that's what I would think. And I honestly, I'm not even sure they can pass the part about an additional check. Carrie says that they were able to certify at 1204. Ghostwriter says, hey. Fernando says, what does this notification mean? You have received all benefits payable to you at this time. You cannot file another California unemployment insurance claim until your current benefit year ends. That is a great question. And the answer is, it's just saying whatever current extension you're on has just zeroed out. But there are more extensions that should take you to the week ending September 4th. So we would all get that notification, or we should really, after the first 13-week PEUC extension, which most of us used back in 2020, after the 11-week PEUC extension, and then after the 29-week PEUC extension. It could also happen if you're at the end of your Fed Ed weeks, it would say that. But that's just the end of the current extension you're on before they roll you over to the next one. So that's actually pretty normal. Next, in about 7 to 10 business days, you will probably get a notice about the extension being automatically added. Nice to see you all as well. Dan says, I never got the last $1,200 stimulus. Do I have to wait till 2021 taxes? Yes, I think so. So that's when you'll claim that. That seems really odd though, but yeah, that should be taken care of on the 2021 taxes. Sandy, thank you for the donation. You were on PUA and you didn't certify for about a month. Now it's saying I need to reopen. I've tried doing that and nothing happened. What should I do? It sounds like you're actually one of the rare cases where you should reopen claim. And remember, reopen and filing a new claim are different things. Reopening claim is exactly for what you're talking about when you haven't certified for a month. So you go back in and you need to certify and you have to hit reopen claim. But if it didn't reopen, you're going to have to call them to get them to like add the weeks for you to be able to certify. I really hate when that's the answer because I know how hard it is to get through to the EDD. But unfortunately, if something's not there, if you've been pending for more than 2 weeks, that is really often the solution. I can help you guys kind of determine why and if it's normal. But in terms of actually getting things fixed, it's usually the answer is either be persistent and call the EDD or reach out to your assembly member for help getting those payments pushed through. Jenna says, my PUA says continued claim, even though I've never applied for PUA up until a few weeks ago. So does this mean they are counting for the regular UI claim in 2020 and denied regular UI? No. What section does it say continued claim in? I don't think that's what it means. A continued claim, continued claim, as far as I know, is usually just like right after, like anything after you first filed the claim, it's all kind of a continued claim. I hope that made sense. Yeah, that's something like that. You could potentially use the Ask EDD feature and see if they respond to you like that. Yes, it is completely ridiculous, Kristen. Dan says, I feel like trying to file will mess it up. Or maybe trying to file will trigger it that, oh, you've had no work history and they need to do it automatically for you. Johnny, stop it. I'm going to ban you from making donations. I don't know if I can do that. A number that you can pay to get to the EDD on the phone without waiting and trying for hours. I will pay. What's the number, please? You need it. So at the very top, there's of this chat, and at the very beginning of like the description of the video, it's not a number, it's Claimyr. Are you just saying that because then you'll know that people will use it? So what Claimyr does is it dials the EDD for you. And to me, that's the frustrating part, the dialing again and again and listening to that long intro message that I haven't figured out a way how to skip. And then only to be told, like, our we have too many callers in line, like please try your call again later. Claimyr will get you to the point where you can hold. You might still need to hold for 2 hours or more, and it doesn't guarantee that you get a rep that can fix your claim, but it is a link. So I have the referral link up in the pinned comment in the chat. It costs, with the discount code for your first call, it costs $14.99. The thing about it is everybody that I know that's used it, all of you guys, my coworkers, they all say it's the best money I've ever spent. So for a lot of people, it's really worth the $14.99 to skip the frustration of dialing over and over again and not being even allowed to hold. That's what overheated my phone one day when I was doing it. And like, would I rather spend $14.99 on the call, or would I rather spend like $900 on a new phone? But again, I know that a lot of people cannot afford that service. So my tips for calling for free are dial 833-978-2511. Try calling Tuesday through Saturday, and try calling between 2:30 p.m. and 4 p.m. After the long intro message, quickly hit 134. And if you can't afford it and you just can't get through to the EDD, then reaching out to your assembly member can be a good option. And thank you, Johnny. But yeah, if you need that, the link's up in the description. And some of you guys are so sweet. We do need to call the EDD often, more than one time. You guys want to use Jenny's link and then use my link. Unfortunately, the service remembers your phone number, so you can only use that discount code once. Kimberly says, I'm able to certify, but I still have not received my EDD debit card. How long will this take? They said 7 to 10 business days. It's been 10 days since May 24th, and I need some help. Thank you. So it needs to be 10 business days. And remember, this past Monday was a holiday. I'm going to count that up for you. I'll tell you when the latest you should receive it is. Normally it comes a little bit early. So you said May 24th. That was Monday. Was that the holiday? That was the holiday. No, it was the 31st. It was the holiday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yesterday, Saturday count as a business day? If it's not there by tomorrow, call the Bank of America phone number. I don't have it handy, but call the Bank of America number, not the EDD, and ask them about when they sent your card out to you. But yeah, by Monday it should be there. Guys, it just skipped ahead in the chat, so I'm going to take some random questions, and then I'll scroll back up. But you guys know when I lose my place, if you guys could take a minute to like the video, I would sure appreciate it. Let's see what Bad Grandpa has to say this morning. I just started my 29-week extension today. I have $13,050 in it. I calculated in this September that will probably be $5,000 left. Would I go to a new claim if not working yet? So Bad Grandpa, only because I know your claim history. So you actually filed a new claim and your benefit amount was less, was lowered by more than $25. So you were approved for a new claim, but they're not going to start you on that new claim because it would lower your weekly benefit amount by more than $25. So they're keeping you on your old claim and adding the extensions to it. So in your case specifically, yes, you're going to draw down that balance until September 4th. Then they're going to roll you over onto your new claim that will last an additional 26 weeks, but that will be at your lower weekly benefit amount. And you can let me know in the comments down below if I've got your claim information wrong. Oh, Casper, thank you for the sticker donation. I'm just now seeing that. Bella, hello. You guys are really like the best audience. Like I appreciate you guys so much. Oh, Johnny, you gave another stick. As I'm scrolling, I'm seeing all the sticker donations. I don't know why some of them don't stick up at the top. I see it's a lower dollar amount, but I thought that even if you guys donated like 99 cents, that it would pop it up on top, and it doesn't. I don't know if that's my settings or what, but I certainly appreciate it, but you guys do not need to donate. Short Dog says, I have my hearing for identity verification on 6/10/2021. Well, good luck to you on that. Rocky says, good morning. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here. I'm kind of, okay. They said I was at 11:11, so let me scroll back up. I'm just peachy because there's a lot of question marks there. It says, I filed a new claim and my weekly benefit amount went down drastically. Will it be adjusted automatically? It depends on what type of claim you were coming off of. If you were on Fed Ed when you had to file a new claim, they're actually going to pay you the lower weekly benefit amount. But if you were on PEUC, and that's when your benefit year ended, and that's when you filed a new claim, then they are going to keep you on the extension at the higher weekly benefit amount. So it really depends where you were. And also, if at any time you got a 1277 invalid claim letter, doesn't matter what the award amount says, if it's more or if it's less, but if you also got a 1277 invalid claim denial letter, that's going to take precedent over the new award letter. Okay. Oh, here we go. All right, 11:11. Scrolling back up. Oops, sorry, you guys. Okay. Kristen says, second tier rep told me up to 11 weeks if there's anything on your new claim. I'm not sure what that's in regards to. So it sounds like you just finished your 13-week PEUC extension. Manuel said, my wife's account is still pending. We applied for a new claim and went through, but still pending for 1 month now. So Manuel, it is time to call the EDD, and you can use one of those tips for calling them for free. You can try Claimyr if that's a good fit for you. It is $14.99, even with the discount code. It doesn't guarantee you'll get it a good rep. Doesn't eliminate your whole time. Guys, I gotta have some water. You guys also know when I have some of my coldest water, since this video is sponsored, to please take a moment and like the video. Okay. Dan says, I got a 29-week extension in March. Will that end at my benefit year? Sort of. At your benefit year, either you're going to check or the EDD is going to check to see if you qualify for a new claim. If not, they will keep you on your existing claim through the week ending September 4th. Ari says, I reapplied for my claim 1 week before the date of expiration. Now I got a text from the EDD asking me to apply because my 12 months are over. That should just be like a glitch, or like they're crossing, like they didn't know. A lot of us, like everybody right now, I know I filed a new claim. I filed it with a rep on the phone, but if I log on to my UI Online homepage, it's saying to file a new claim. So if you know that you have already filed a new claim, you do not need to file another new claim. So yeah, I think those two bits of information just crossed. I would wait. As long as you're getting paid, Ari, I wouldn't worry about it. If you get stuck on pending for more than 2 weeks, that's when I would call them. Juan. Oh, Juan, you used one of my little emojis. Does it say multitask? I can't tell which one that is. I made my own like little emojis and I don't know what it is. Anyway, you were able to certify at 5 a.m. with no problems and got paid within minutes. That is awesome. It does actually sound like the EDD, dare I say, made some improvements. They actually like made some real improvements. So that would be great. So that's awesome. Fernando says, what does this message mean? We did that one. So that's fine. It just means they're going to roll you onto the next extension. If you got the maximum benefits, all benefits paid message, that's fine. It's just all the benefits on either your original claim or the current extension you're on. They'll just roll you over onto another one as long as you're within your benefit year. Andy, you got your court date and it's on Friday the 13th. for mediation and I am the petitioner. I am afraid that after September 4th, the extension's over, I would definitely have to get a job, which makes it harder for me to bond with my baby boy. Hope the court goes my way. I hope so too, Andy. I'm rooting for you. I will say my mom thinks, some people think, I think that Friday the 13th is unlucky. My mom thinks that Friday the 13th is lucky. I bought my last car on Friday the 13th, so I named it Jason. I bought that car in 2013. It is still running like a champ. I like to drive my cars until the wheels fall off. I do not believe in buying a new car regularly. It was the most affordable little Prius C that I could buy. So I'm just trying to say that I think Friday the 13th is going to be a lucky day for you. And yeah, I hope you're able to spend time with your baby boy. You guys know, I think the EDD is still hiring work from home positions. I don't know if you guys could stomach it, but that might be an option. Sir Wood said, pending since last Sunday, previous certification pending for 5 days and then went to paid. That's a little bit strange. It shouldn't be that long. But since this past Monday was a holiday, maybe go ahead and wait till Monday. And if it doesn't switch to paid by then, that would be a full 7 days. Go ahead and call the EDD because yeah, that's not normal. Thank you. I'm never sure if it's George or Jorge, but anyway, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. You have been a regular on the channel. I'm going to scroll down to the area where you just made the donation and see if you've got a question. Oh, before I get there, this name popped out to me. Noted rock historian said, my employer said I did not have to come in for work, but also I would not be paid. It sounds like the job ended right there to me, but EDD seems to be challenging this. Thoughts? Is your job like threatening you? Like, did they call you in? Like, it seems weird that is your employer fighting it? Because I know, like, we reached out to employees, and if they weren't comfortable coming back right now, we didn't press them. They're still on furlough. We're still going to follow up. We're still going to call them again in the future to see if that has changed. The only reason why the EDD would know is if your employer like reported that they offered you work and you didn't accept it. And to me, there's not necessarily anything that your employer can do that, but that's so shady. Like, we're not doing that to any of our employees. Like, if they're not comfortable coming back yet, or they weren't vaccinated or whatever, we're not going to force that on them. It is a little bit weird. And they're still furloughed, and we're still going to call them back again. I mean, eventually they have to come back, but, and I'm sure they'll want to in September. Anyway, okay. George, I don't see a question from you. So if you have one, don't make another donation. I appreciate that one very much, but just leave a regular comment. X Classy says, are they ending the $300 boost here in California? No, my big fat head's in the way, but no. This is the map of the states that are planning on ending it early, and California is not one of them. I don't think they're going to do that. Okay. Enosh, I'm skipping around now because we're almost towards the end of the live. Enosh says, it's almost been 2 weeks. I reached my maximum benefits paid within my benefit year. I haven't received or heard anything from the EDD. What should I do? Do you see the next date that you can certify when you log on? If you do, even if you haven't received any other communication, that should still be a good sign. If it doesn't say, like, you don't have weeks to certify, come back on such and such a date, that's when you should call the EDD and see what's going on. Charlie, you're welcome. Thank you so much. EJ says, why is it saying some people can't certify their weeks online and it's not letting me on this new page? I can't even find it. I am not sure about that. It has been a common issue for a lot of people to not see a date that they can certify. And if that's the case, unfortunately, the answer is to call the EDD. Alfie Jr. says, good morning, Shelly. I got hired by an employer. However, I have not been paid from EDD for 2 months. Will I still get my back pay from the time I reapplied to the start date of my new job? help. You should. If you weren't working, if you didn't have a job, once the EDD gets everything sorted out, they should back pay you from whenever you first started pending until you started your new job. Now, you are most likely going to have to call and fight for that money because 2 months is a long time to be pending. So I would call and ask them tell them you're experiencing financial hardship and see if there's any way that they can push those payments through. Okay, Daniel is saying, if my year ended on May 31st and I only got paid for 1 week and the other week says pending, do I wait or do I call the EDD so they can fix it? So this is going to depend. Are you sure it says pending and not NA? It does sound like the second week is outside of your benefit year, which is why it would be pending. And you are most likely going to have to call the EDD to get that pushed through to paid, even though they're automatically checking to see if people qualify for a new claim. My recommendation would be to go ahead and call them, wait till Tuesday to try and get through. I wish I could display this properly. Okay, anyway. Sir Wood said 0 balance. Benefits year doesn't end until November. I couldn't certify today. What should I do? If you're not able to log on and certify, if the button's just not there for you to click to start the certification process, unfortunately, you do need to call them to get them to add that back. Mixed Martial Arts Nightmare says, I like the old EDD homepage better. It was less cluster. Yes. But even though I know we just had Sir Wood saying he couldn't certify, but a lot of people are saying it's actually smoother now. So if it looks bad but works better, I'm okay with that. I don't think anybody's a fan of the way it looks, but if it's actually working better, props to the EDD for actually doing it. I have seen a lot of people say that things are going better, but that they're almost even like skeptical about how well it's working. Yeah, mixed. Okay, so Mixed Martial Arts and Summer's saying, how come my discount code for Claimyr isn't working anymore? It is just a one-time code. And that's true, like even if you use my code and then you use Jenny Silver's code, it won't work. Once you've done your first discounted call, the rest of them are $19.99. And guys, I'm a fan of the service for what it does, but if you're in a situation where you're needing to call the EDD multiple times, I don't love that. I think it can get really expensive really quickly. So try calling Tuesday through Saturday between 2:30 and 4 p.m. Don't call after 6 p.m. because the lines are going to be too full. After you listen to the long intro message, quickly hit 134. I'm also going to share a tip that worked for my coworker, and it's from somebody else's video. It's not Jenny Silver's video. Let me see what his name is again. Oops, let me turn down the volume. His name is James D. So James D, how to fix pending California EDD payments. Okay, so what the tip from this other video is go to the EDD website, click the link, find an office. On the next page, click American Job Center of California. Then search for your closest office using your zip code and call and see if the representatives can transfer you to the EDD. Now, in the past, I've been a little bit hesitant to recommend calling numbers that aren't exactly the EDD number because I don't think these tips work for very long. I think once the cat's out of the bag on these tips, people tend to get the people that are answering the calls at the American Career Center get frustrated and stop transferring the calls, but it's worth a shot. Okay. CTB says reapplied after 12 months and still no response back from the EDD. If it's been more than 2 weeks, I would give them a call. Dan says, how does the EDD determine your wages for the last 18 months? So I think they're able to pull from your W-2. Because I know when I first filed my unemployment claim, the EDD asked for like the annual amount, and I didn't know what I was doing at that point. I input like my daily rate and I was like, oh my God, it's going to mess up my claim. But the EDD they pulled that information. So they had it, and I'm guessing it's from your W-2 that your employer reports. So they would get that through employer reported wages. Sammy says, I have 4 outstanding payments. The EDD told me to fill out an uncashed benefit payment check. I sent it yesterday. Do you know anyone who's gone through this process? No. So, Sammy, I would love to stay on top of your situation and see how this proceeds. I hope they get you paid quickly. Faith. I know. Faith says that she loves my videos, but it's frustrating because a lot of the answers are to call. And it's true. I don't work for the EDD. I don't have any magic wand that I can wave to actually get your claims fixed. I'm here for you guys if you want to vent your frustrations. I'm here to try and make sense of, is this normal or is this not normal? I can kind of tell you guys why you might be pending, but in terms of actually helping you get it fixed, I can be your cheerleader from far away, but I don't have the magic tools. So I appreciate you guys watching. I'm glad a lot of people have said that I've helped keep them calm during the pandemic. You guys have certainly been a light for me and giving me purpose during the pandemic, pushing me outside of my comfort zone to learn like new computers and programming and Faith, I don't want you to become homeless. Okay. So now we get these tips. On the EDD, there is a link for like rental assistance. The eviction ban in California is good through at least the 30th of this month. If anything, it hasn't been extended yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if that does get extended. And I hope that they do extend the eviction ban longer. But as of right now, it's not. So June 30th. Reach out to Catholic Charities. You do not need to be a member of the Catholic faith. They have a lot of programs. Make sure that you're getting food stamps. Call your creditors. See if they can delay, put your payments on pause. A lot of them can. Make sure that you sign up for help with your utilities. Then, whatever industry you used to work in, type in movie theater grant, because grants are free money. Movie theater grant, California. So your state, movie theater grant, Los Angeles, your county, movie theater, Pasadena, your city, state, county. I want you to do the same thing for rental assistance, California, rental assistance, Los Angeles County, renter assistance, city of Pasadena, and see what programs come up. Also, make sure to let your landlord know in writing that the reason you're not able to pay them their rent is due to a COVID-19 related reason. Some of the requirements vary by city, but they should not be able to evict you at least until the end of the month. And just know that I'm hoping, I'm rooting for you. And you're saying you've reached out and to have an ambition notice. You just don't want to get that far after you email the governor and everything that is recommended. You have to have an ambition notice. I don't know what an ambition notice is, but Faith, it sounds like you're taking, okay, eviction, not ambition. You've reached out and you have to have an eviction notice, and you just don't want to get that far. You also have to email the governor and everything that is recommended. Okay, so go ahead and do so it sounds like you're doing all the things, but there is one thing where maybe to get the assistance, you have to have an eviction letter. I think that you're able to just say, and for some of the programs, that you're experiencing financial hardship and that you can't make your bills. I know in some cases you actually do have to actually be behind, and you don't want to be behind. But to not be evicted in most cities, if you give a written letter to your landlord, the landlord can't evict you if in writing you tell them that the reason why you're not able to pay your rent is due to COVID-19. And Faith, I don't have a lot of videos on this, but Jenny Silver does. If you guys ever have a question that I can't answer, I am a fan of Jenny Silver. I love her channel. She has really good information. Try looking for that. I'm just rooting for you. I wish I had more tips for you, but as of right now, I don't. Truth, keep calling unemployment. They're not playing with you. Yeah, just keep calling. Yoli says, my benefit year was 4/24. You filed a new claim on 5/2. You have 3 weeks pending from 5/2 and 5/29. You received payment on 6/1. No approval letter. Will I receive missing payments? You should, but it's probably not going to be automatic. You're probably going to have to call and fight to get the ones that they missed switched to paid. Thank you very much, Maribel. Mixed martial arts. Oh, well, what is it? You said you found his question. You found Georgia's question. Well, what is Georgia's question? Okay. What is Georgia's question? Mixed martial arts. Can you type it? Because it sounds like you're still listening. Hopefully George is still in here, but mixed martial arts, since you know what the question is, are you able to retype it for me down lower? Oh, maybe this is it. Finally got a hold of a second tier rep, got paid, and now your question is, what if the money that they pay me doesn't add up in my bank account at BofA? Is that happening? That should not be the case. So you see the payments as paid, and then that's not what's in your Bank of America card. Please go to your transaction history on your Bank of America EDD debit card and see if there are transactions that you don't recognize. That's scaring me because it should add up, should be the same. So check your transaction history on Bank of America. Yes, Joe, the job search is still waived, but I do recommend hitting yes that you looked for work, and then you're allowed to skip listing where you looked for work. Dan, okay, we're going to do Dan. Does an EBT card affect your benefit payment amount? No, not at all. And you don't have to count that extra $300 a week that we're getting from the federal government. So if you're not already getting food stamps, also known as EBT, also known as SNAP, not stamp, SNAP, also known as CalFresh, please apply for that. Get everything that you can. Philadeacons? I'm not saying that name right. Says, does Claimyr work? Claimyr works to get you to the point of holding. It doesn't cut down the hold time for you. That can still be like 2 hours. It also doesn't guarantee that you're going to get a rep to fix your claim. I will say that I seem to have like a disproportionately high number of people that have used Claimyr that then say that they got a good rep that were able to help them. It's almost freaky, but people have had a good experience with Claimyr, but all it does is it dials the EDD for you. And once it reaches them, then it rings through on your phone. So it stops you having to redial. I don't love holding, but that part doesn't bother me because I can just put the phone on mute and like do my dishes or do my laundry or clean the house or like make a video, or well, I can't actually make a video because I usually use my phone for making videos. But I can go on about my day while I hold. But like you have to like actively be dialing. And so that's the frustrating part for me. It works to get you through to the point of holding, and that's it. Okay. Mixed martial arts says you finally got a hold of we read that one. Yes, check your transactions on your Bank of America card and see if you recognize anything that you didn't do. Phil Adkins. Oh my goodness. Phil Adkins. I'm slow, but I got it, I think. Original claim expired 4/27/2020. You filed a new claim 5/1. Uh-oh. You have not been approved, and this is June 5th. What should I do? So if you didn't get approved, if you got like an invalid claim 1277 letter, they should be adding the extensions to your existing claim. It should happen automatically. That should take you through the week ending September 4th. However, when you file a new claim, it does send both the new claim and the old claim to a third party for review. That review process can take between 2 and 6 weeks. But after about week 3 of being pending, and you should still be able to certify, but after about week 3 of being pending, that's when you should be able to call the EDD and they should be able to release payments to you, especially if you mention financial hardship. Oh my goodness, Faith. See, Faith, you at least have a good sense of humor because I think you're laughing at me realizing how to say Phil Adkins. Okay. I'm going to do 2 more questions and then I do have to go. I'm filming another collaboration video. It is not with Jenny Silver this time. So you guys, hopefully you'll like that. Okay. Gian says, my account went from 0 to 6,000, but it still says to reapply. If you've already filed a new claim, you don't need to even try. So like we all get the letters for the extensions, right? And they load up with the whole like 29 weeks of benefits. But like Bad Grandpa was saying earlier, he's not going to be able to use all those benefits by the time September 4th rolls around. So just like that, they can load you up with $6,000 more. But once your benefit year ends, even though the EDD is going to be doing it automatically, one of the ways for you to know if they're going to do it automatically for you is by trying to file a new claim. So try to file a new claim. If it lets you, that means you need to file a new claim. If it doesn't, it means they're going to do it automatically for you. And you can always call to have them help you with that process, because I do think that in them trying to help, that it made it more complicated. Phil, I know, I realize that that's what you meant, but it sounds like that's not, so you're about 4 weeks, you're about a whole month, you're almost 5 weeks with no payment. It's time to call the EDD and see if they can push those payments through to you and make sure you're letting them know you're experiencing financial hardship. Yoli, you're welcome. Mutual Avalos. Okay, all right. I do like the little devil emoji though. Okay. I'm about to end this though. I'm going to do one more question and then I got to go. Okay. Okay. So Phil, we'll do one more after Phil. Okay. Nura, you're wondering if you have to do any extra steps for this. Nura, if you could retype your question. George, you have all the deposits from EDD on the Bank of America app. They just don't add up to my history on the EDD page. I would need to look at that to try and figure out what went wrong. Like if there's no weird transactions, I would maybe call the EDD about that. I would say, hey, how come this didn't load? I'm not sure about that. Okay. I was going to scroll back up to Nura. So if you're approved for a new claim, will you be paid for previous pending payments on a previous claim? Sort of. You should, but you are most likely going to have to call a rep and have them switch the certifications that should have been paid onto the new claim. And the best way that I know to do that is to call and have a rep help you with that. So that would be my recommendation. And Scotty's, I'll give tips to call. I'll close this out with tips to call from the EDD. But Scotty's saying, will I be making EDD videos after September 4th? Probably not. Well, it may, yeah, for a little while after. I'll make some stimulus videos. You guys know that I only really like to do those when something's happening, like for sure. So I won't make too many before we actually know for sure what's going to happen. But I also want to make financial content. You guys know I'm a homeowner. I did it all on my own. I'm not divorced using some ex-husband's money. I didn't inherit any money. I grew up in a trailer. My mom is still struggling financially. I'm not at a place where I can help her a lot financially yet, but I want to get there. Like, I'm going to claw my way to the top. I want to teach you guys how to do that too. I don't want people to give up on the American dream. Like, I want to teach people about investing and budgeting and side hustles, all that kind of thing, to help us all improve our financial situations. So that's the kind of content that I want to make. I'll give you guys like a home tour because like my house has a lot of interest. I'll be disclosing like my personal finances just so you guys can know. That's why the channel is named Shelly's Millions. I thought I was going to talk about finance. I had no idea I'd still be talking about EDD, California unemployment issues like this far into the pandemic. So that's where I want to take the channel, and that's maybe more where this collaboration is going. So yeah, now let's talk about the tips to call the EDD. Try calling Tuesday through Saturday. The call volume on Sunday and Monday is really high. They are open Sundays. Some people don't know that, but they are open Sundays. So if it's a simple thing like the certification button being missing, you should be able to call and have them add that on there for you. But in general, I like waiting till Tuesday. Try calling between 2:30 and 4 p.m. After the long intro message, quickly hit 134. So those are my tips for calling the EDD. I do not recommend trying to call after 6 because you always need to allow at least 2 hours to hold before you even get through to a rep. So those are my tips. The 1-833-978-2511. After the long intro message, 134. Tuesday through Saturday, not after 6 p.m. And if Claimyr is something that's in your budget, many people enjoy it. I do have the discount code. It'll save you $5 off your first call only, making the call $14.99 when you use my link. It's a pinned comment in chat, and it's also linked in the description down below. All right, you guys. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, sure. The number that I call, it's the one that's widely published. It's 833-978-2511. And then after the long intro message, when you call, quickly hit 134. Not option 1, option 3, option 4. Quickly, boop, 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 134. That tip works sometimes, doesn't work sometimes. Then again, 2:30 to 4, Tuesday through Saturday. Okay. All right. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If I didn't get to your question today, I do go live on Mondays at 6 p.m. I might try it from my work one more time. It did not go well last week, but I think it'll be set up better for this week. Anyway, I might try that again. I did like the background. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'll see you next time.